Fulbert the Fearful, 1014 to 1097. Famous for being so cowardly he never ventured out of his house. Died when a defensive charm backfired and the roof fell in. Ethelred the Ever-Ready, medieval, dates unknown. Famous for taking offence at nothing and cursing innocent bystanders. Died in jail. Crispin Cronk, 1795 to 1872. Sent to Azkaban for continuing to keep sphinxes in his back garden despite repeated warnings. Edgar Struelge, 1703 to 1798. Inventor of the sneakerscope. Oswald Beamish, 1850 to 1932. Pioneer of goblin rites. Norval Twonk, 1888 to 1957. Died saving a Muggle child from a runaway Manticore. Posthumously awarded the Order of Merlin, First Class. Grogan Stump, 1770 to 1884. Popular Minister for Magic, appointed 1811. Glanmore Peaks, 1677 to 1761. Famous slayer of the sea serpent of Cromer. Wilfred Elphick, 1112 to 1199. First wizard to be gored by an African erumpent. Professor Amando Dippet, former headmaster of Hogwarts, circa 1940. Mungo Bonham, 1560 to 1659. Famous wizard healer. Founded St. Mungo's Hospital for Magical Maladies and Injuries. Zhu Yen, 4th century BC. Chinese alchemist. Falco Isolon, ancient Greek. The first recorded example of an animagus, he could transform himself into a falcon. Thaddeus Thurkel, 1632 to 1692. Famous for producing 7 squib sons and turning them all into hedgehogs in disgust. Harry Potter, the boy who lived. Beatrix Bloxham, 1794 to 1810. Author of The Toadstool Tales, a series of children's books since banned because they have been found to cause nausea and vomiting. Dymphna Firmage, 1612 to 1698. Famously abducted by pixies while on holiday in Cornwall and lived in mortal dread of them thereafter. Failed to persuade the Ministry of Magic to have all pixies humanely destroyed. Honoria Nutcombe, 1665 to 1743. Founded the Society for the Reformation of Hags. Gwendolen the Weird, medieval, dates unknown. Alleged to have enjoyed being burnt at the stake so much that she allowed herself to be captured 47 times in various disguises. Jocunda Sykes, 1915 to the present. Famous for flying across the Atlantic on a broomstick, the first person to do so. Carlotta Pinkstone, 1922 to the present. Famous campaigner for lifting the International Confederation of Wizards' Statute of Secrecy and telling Muggles that wizards still exist. Ms. Pinkstone has been imprisoned several times for her blatant and deliberate use of magic in public places. Dorcas Wellbeloved, 1812 to 1904. Founder of the Society for Distressed Witches. Elfrida Clag, 1612 to 1687. Chieftainess of Warlock's Council. Sasharissa Tugwood, 1874 to 1966. Pioneer of beautifying potions. Discovered pimple-curing properties of bubotuber pus. Ignatia Wildsmith, 1227 to 1320. The witch who invented flue powder. Hesper Starkey, 1881 to 1973. Witch who studied the use of phases of the moon in potion making. Cleodne, medieval, dates unknown. Irish druidess who discovered properties of moon dew. Mirabella Plunkett, 1839 to unknown date. Famous for falling in love with a merman in Loch Lomond while on holiday. When her parents forbade her to marry him, she transfigured herself into a haddock and was never seen again. Morgan Le Fay, medieval, dates unknown. King Arthur's half-sister, dark sorceress, enemy of Merlin. Gunhilda of Gorsmore, 1556 to 1639. One-eyed, humpbacked witch, famous for developing a cure for dragonpox. Jocelyn Wadcock, 1911 to the present. Chaser for Puddlemere United Quidditch team. Record for highest number of goals during British season this century, against Ballycastle Bats, 1931. Gwennog Jones, 1968 to the present. Captain and beater of only all-female national Quidditch team, the Holyhead Harpies. Cyprian Udall, 1312 to 1357. Only Quidditch referee ever to be killed during a match. The originator of the curse was never caught, but believed to have been a member of the crowd. Roderick Plumpton, 1889 to 1987. Seeker for England Quidditch team. Holds British record for fastest capture of snitch during game, 3.5 seconds. Bowman Wright, 1492 to 1560. Famous for developing the golden snitch. Sir Herbert Varney, 1858 to 1889. Short-lived, by undead standards, Victorian vampire who preyed upon women in London during the 1880s, was subsequently captured and killed by a special squad from the Department for the Regulation and Control of Magical Creatures. Amarillo Lestote, 1776 to 1977. Flamboyant American vampire, author of A Vampire's Monologue, intended to bore the reader into a stupor, making him or her easier prey for vampires. Lady Carmilla Sanguina, 1561 to 1757, bathed in the blood of her victims to retain her youthful beauty. Blodwyn Blood, 1923 to unknown, known as the Vampire from the Valleys, famous for singing to his victims in a sonorous bass baritone before biting their necks. Count Vlad Dracul, 1392 unknown, notorious vampire who inspired the fictional Count Dracula created by Bram Stoker, father of Vlad the Impaler. Eargit the Ugly, goblin representative at 14th century summit of Wizards' Council. Olguff the Awful, foul-smelling goblin nuisance, well known throughout the goblin world for trying to sell phials of his sweat to a dung bomb manufacturer. Ugg the Unreliable, notorious goblin confidence trickster, organized the infamous Demiguise Derby and absconded with the takings. Urg the Unclean, rebel leader in the 18th century goblin rebellions. Gringot, founder of Gringot's Wizard Bank. Baba Yaga, medieval, dates unknown. Russian hag who dwelled in a hut that stood on giant chicken legs, ate children for breakfast, and presumably for lunch and tea. Malodora Grimm, medieval, dates unknown. Using a beautification potion to conceal her true hag form, she married a king and used a charmed mirror to reinforce her self-image, became jealous of the most beautiful girl in the land, and fed her a poisoned apple. Laetitia somnolens. Medieval, dates unknown. This spiteful hag was jealous of the king's daughter and caused her to prick her finger on a spindle tainted with a draught of the living death. A young wizard who had smeared his lips with Wiggenweld potion kissed the princess and brought her out of her trance. Old Mother Hubbard. Medieval, dates unknown. Lured stray animals into her home and starved them to death. Cordelia Misericordia, 1298 to 1401. Hag representative at 14th century summit of Wizards' Council. Bran the Bloodthirsty. Medieval, dates unknown. Lived in a castle on top of an enchanted beanstalk. Apparently fond of eating bread made with ground bones and washed down with the blood of an Englishman. Was slain by a boy named Jack. Cyclops. Ancient Greece. Dates unknown. A one-eyed giant who lived in a cave at the foot of Mount Etna. With the help of several sheep, was slain by the Greek hero Odysseus. Goliath. Biblical. Dates unknown. Mercenary giant used by the Philistines in their war with the Israelites. Was slain by a young boy with a slingshot. Morholt. Ancient Celtic. Dates unknown. Gigantic brother of the King of Ireland. Wounded Tristan, the Celtic hero, with a poisoned sword when the latter tried to kill him. Hengist of Upper Barnton. 15th century giant killed by the famous giant slayer Gifford Ollerton. Common Welsh green dragon. The breed is amongst the least troublesome of dragons and actively avoids humans unless provoked. Fire is issued in thin jets. Hebridean black dragon. Britain's other native dragon is more aggressive than its Welsh counterpart and feeds mostly on deer, though it has been known to carry off large dogs. Hungarian Horntail dragon. Supposedly the most dangerous of all dragon breeds, the Hungarian Horntail can breathe fire up to 50 feet. Romanian Longhorn dragon. The horns of this breed of dragon are highly valued as potion ingredients, and as a result, its numbers have fallen in recent years. Norwegian Ridgeback dragon. The Ridgeback is nowadays one of the rarer dragon breeds and has been known to attack most kinds of large land mammal. Imp. Found only in Britain and Ireland, the imp has a slapstick sense of humour and will amuse itself by pushing and tripping the unwary. Doxy. Sometimes mistaken for a fairy. Nests in bushes and, if approached, will attempt to bite with its double rows of sharp, venomous teeth. Bowtruckle. A tree guardian, adept at dodging most kinds of charms. May attempt to gouge out your eyes if you approach its tree home in a threatening manner. Billywig. Has a long, thin sting that causes giddiness followed by levitation. Dried billywig stings are used in a variety of potions. Gnome. A common garden pest, the gnome lurks in holes in the ground and may run out and attempt to trip up the unwary traveller. Can be ejected from the garden by swinging it in circles and flinging it over the garden wall. Giant squid. The bane of ancient mariners and students at Hogwarts, should the latter decide to go for a dip in the lake. Manticore. A rare, dangerous beast, the Manticore has been known to sing softly as it eats its prey. Its sting will kill instantaneously. Unicorn. The unicorn is a shy creature and generally avoids human contact. It is more likely to let a witch come near it than a wizard, and casting magic spells may frighten it off. Its blood has highly magical properties. Mountain troll. Frequents mountainous regions. Very powerful but stupid. The troll will attempt to bludgeon anyone who comes near it. Streeler. A large orange snail with a poisonous shell that should only be handled when wearing protective gloves. Giant purple toad. Likes dead flies and other insects. Has a long green tongue. Double-ended newt. Can be purchased from the magical menagerie in Diagon Alley. Swims around a lot and likes algae. Gytrash. Large dog-like spirit that can be encountered in the Forbidden Forest, either singly or in groups. Kelpie. Lurks in rivers and streams and will kneel in invitation for anyone to ride it across. If this is attempted, the Kelpie will drag the rider underwater and attempt to eat them. Phoenix. A gentle creature. The phoenix lives to an immense age because it can regenerate each time it bursts into flames. Phoenix song is magical, and its tears have healing properties. Godric Gryffindor. Medieval. Dates unknown. Co-founder of Hogwarts. Gave his name to one of the 4 Hogwarts houses. Rowena Ravenclaw. Medieval. Dates unknown. Co-founder of Hogwarts. Gave her name to one of the 4 Hogwarts houses. Helga Hufflepuff. Medieval. Dates unknown. Co-founder of Hogwarts. Gave her name to one of the 4 Hogwarts houses. Salazar Slytherin. Medieval. Dates unknown. Co-founder of Hogwarts. Gave his name to one of the 4 Hogwarts houses. Dumbledore. Headmaster of Hogwarts.